Happy New Year, everyone! Now, New Year isn't complete without a review of what happened in the past year. And one of the most important parts of my life is books. So it's kind of important for me to review those books. So I'm going to. So this is a two-part series or a two-part video. The first part about 2016, the learnings from it, and on to 2017 to plan for that. So yes, let's start off with 2016. Now, in 2016, I read 24 books. Now, here's the quick stats of what I've done in 2016. So, I had planned to read 52 books, but I read only 24. Out of these are 6,084 pages. There's 12 Indian authors that I read, and 14 of my books were ebooks. So, I mean, that's the stats. Now, what does this mean to me really? One, I'm quite happy with myself because, even though 24 is the lowest number of books I've done since I started tracking the number of books I read in 2011. But that said, it gave me a lot of learning this year. So it's been a really low year when it comes to books. But what I have realized is that, I tend to have the beginning of my year being really good in reading, but the second half tends to go through this slump, and this seems to have been happening for the last couple of years. So I'm hoping in 2017 I can plan for this a little better so that I don't land up feeling really horrible at the end of the year that I didn't manage to read as much as I wanted to. The other things that I got out of this were that, I did meet my targets. I've been wanting to read a lot of Indian authors because there seems to be a lot of Indian writing out there lately. And I managed to do that if I managed to read about, 12 Indian books, which is 50% of my reading. So I'm really happy about that. The other thing that I talked about was 14 ebooks. Now, this number is important to me again because that means the majority of the books I read was in the ebook format and on the Kindle, which is again great because it tells me that my investment in the Kindle is good. And yeah, I definitely recommend the Kindle to anybody because it makes reading so much easier, especially when you're reading a big book or reading at night, because the Kindle Paperwhite especially makes it just so comfortable for you to read, right? Now, what else did I have happening in 2016? Well, apart from all of this, I found that, or rather this year, I had planned to, explore more than the book world, which is why I kind of had cut down my numbers to 52, and I realized I did that. So I discovered a lot of podcasts that I absolutely enjoy. I will talk about them in another video later on because I did find some that I've absolutely enjoyed through the year, and I know I'm hooked until they last. I also wanted to experiment with audiobooks, and I managed to finish two books, and the test was to try both non-fiction and fiction. And what I found was that I did better with fiction, which is very interesting because I actually thought non-fiction would be better. So the ones that I started in non-fiction, actually I didn't land up finishing, but the ones that so I started two fiction books, and those worked out really well, and both of them were fantasy sci-fi. So not sure if that's really the thing, but yes, audiobooks worked out well. The other thing that was also a highlight, I mean, it's a downer, but it was a highlight, was that after about 3 years, I actually DNF'd a book. Now, this is important to me because I find that I have this compulsive disorder, what do we call it, that I have to finish every book I start. So the fact that I could let go and mark a book as a DNF was great. I hope to do this more because it would lead to more reading time, and it would lead to me not feeling really guilty and getting stuck in books, right? What else? Oh, this year I also came across the Ninja Book Swap. Now, this one's a really cool thing. If it's not, you should do this. Go check it out. I'm going to put a link in the description. Well, the way this works is that you apply saying you'd like to be a part of this, and you get assigned a partner. You would send someone a gift, which is a whole bunch of books and other book related stuff, and someone would send you a box full of books. Now, that's really cool because when it comes in, it's just so much fun to pull apart so much paper and find what you've got. It's like this lovely surprise, and it's nice that it's just so customized to you, and that you could actually give the same box of happiness to someone else. So this is like this box of happiness that you should try out. So go check out the Ninja Book Swap. What else? This year I also tried out the Kindle Unlimited on the Kindle, and what I found was that it didn't really work out so well for me. I'm not really happy with how it did in a year, because all I did land up doing was read 3 books. That's too small a number for the amount you pay. It's not a lot that you pay, but it's still not good enough. Now, I need to go back and look at why, but I think mostly because I have so many books to read that I didn't really have a shortage of books. I wasn't searching for much on Kindle Unlimited. The other thing also was that there weren't really some amazing books out there. So there are some really nice books, like I read Menka's Choice by Kavita Kane and Mastani, but that was about it, right? So yeah, that didn't work out. I don't think, or rather, I've discontinued my Kindle Unlimited, and I'm not really sure if I'm going to go back anytime soon to start that, but we'll see about that. Apart from that, yeah, like I was saying, the biggest thing I learned this year was reading pressure. And what I mean by that is I went through a lot of it. So the second half was a really bad slump. And I realized that, or thinking back, the reasons I would pick for all of this is that, I'm open to book reviews, but I haven't been able to say a lot of no's. I need to learn to say no a lot more. And this not saying no led to me getting a lot of books, and then landing up going through this whole guilt because there's this huge TBR to be read, and and then there's life happening, so I'm not being able to find time to read, and it just started to become a very big overwhelm. So I really need to work on that one and find like a balance, between all of this, because the other thing I found was that in the initial part of the year, I ran up reading a lot, but then towards the fourth and fifth month, I start to feel guilty about not doing a lot of other things that I enjoy doing. And the minute I start trying to do that, I'm unable to balance. So I need to find a better balance. So that's kind of what the year has been in 2016. I'm going to talk about this more in detail because all of this goes into the planning for 2017. So watch out for the rest of it is in part 2.